What's up, everyone? This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't base anything I say off these videos. I just do it for pure entertainment purposes only. So that being said, this is not an AMC video, so if you're here for an AMC video, you can exit if you want. If not, you can listen to me. You already know I'm gonna make another AMC video at some point soon. Anyways, I wanted to jump in and talk about, and my social media and stuff like that, or just in my personal life, people are always asking me like, oh, you do stocks, or what do you think I should do? And I don't know. I don't really know what you should do. I think what I do personally, and I'm going to just share with you with what I do and what's worked for me, or hopefully continues to work for me. Nothing's guaranteed. Consistency and persistence. Persistency? Be consistent, be persistent. Two things right there. So you have to find a stock that you actually believe in. Like, people say this all the time, and it's 100% true. Because if you buy a stock that you don't believe in, you don't really know what's going on with it, you're not going to know when to sell, when to buy, if the dip's a permanent dip, or if it's a dip that it's not going to last because it's seasonal, whatever the reason is. So like one of them for me that kind of was a little funny was like Disney. In the very beginning, when I first started trading stocks, it's like, oh, I'll go with Disney. And then it dipped and I sold on a loss. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get out of here. And then it rose up and I was like, oh my God, then I bought it again. And then it dipped and I sold it again. So you have to be persistent and consistent. So, stocks like that, especially for people like me that aren't throwing thousands of dollars at a time into a stock, like literally I'll throw like 10, 15, 5, 2, $3 in at a time. You know what I mean? But it's all spread across with companies that I believe in. There is a couple random occasional plays that I just toss money in and whatever. One of them, I did one weird thing where I just typed in the first letters that came in the first word that came in my mind, and I typed out Wave, and it wound up being WVE, Wave Life Sciences. I put like $50 in it, and it wound up making me a couple $100 off of it so far. I'm still in it, but I bought it at like its lowest low for the last few years. And I would never advise you to do something like that. That's a stupidity. So these are the type of things that you don't do. You don't do that, or you don't buy into a company just because you're reading about it on social media, but you don't know about the company, or people are saying it's gonna do this, it's gonna do that. Do your own DD on it. If you do your due diligence on it and you believe it's gonna rise like you've heard, then yes, then you go in. For me personally, that's what I would do. So, but being consistent and persistent, what it's about is, so like Disney, I decided at some point last year, I bought it on a dip, and I said, you know what, no matter how negative it is, I'm just going to keep pumping in while it's in the red, pumping in while it's in there, pumping in while it's in there. And I literally, on Disney, since I'm not like 100% sold on Disney, but I do believe it was a decent company, and I just couldn't see it being down forever. That's the other thing. You got to find a company that, and almost any stock, nothing will stay down forever and nothing will stay up forever. So you got to be willing to ride that wave up and down with it, because right now I could sell my Disney for about $300 profit. But I don't want to do that, because $300 in the long run, it's not going to do much for me. And if I was desperate and I needed the money, then yes, that'd be cool. I'd sell it. But with Disney, I've been through it up and I've been through it down already. I'm back up again, so I'm not going to put money into it again, because I do believe at some point it'll dip to the red again. And I'm willing to hold this thing for 10, 15 years. That's what I'm saying, like consistent, persistent. So I want to wait till I got thousands of dollars into it. And then 10 years down the road, unless it has a huge pump, of course, then you get out what you want to get out. You don't have to sell the whole thing. But I'm going to wait till it goes red, and I'm going to keep pumping it in. I have many stocks like this. My NASDAQ has been down for a minute. It's starting to come up. My SPY, it's been up for a little bit, but it was down for a long time. Like a lot of the index funds, we're in what I would call a bear market right now. So for me, it's a good time to add as I can. And I've been adding into all these stocks. And I know we're going to have another bull run, but none of these are at the point where I'm ready to sell yet, or I don't think they're where I want to be yet. So look at the history of the stock market. There's stocks that you could say, oh my gosh, what if I would have bought this 15 years ago and where it would be now? You always hear people talk like that, or older people. I've even met older people that have retired and then sold their stocks and made like 50, 60 grand off of one stock. And they're like, oh my God, one old man specifically that had bought into John Deere And he didn't even look at the price back in those days. He would just every paycheck throw in $100. And he did this for many, many years. And by the time he retired, he sold on a peak and made a shit ton of money. You know what I mean? So consistent, persistent. Like, you got to be able to ride that wave up and down. You got to be able to look at it. Like, I'm looking at some of my crypto right now and thinking, man, I'm up a couple grand, but that's not where I want to be. You know what I mean? It's tempting. Oh my God, I could pull out that couple grand, but in the grand scheme of things, car payment, house payment, little fun, and it's gone. You know what I mean? So I need that thing to be, I need to pump those numbers up. You know what I mean? I need it to be double digits, you know what I mean? Not 2,000, but like 20,000. Then it starts to get tempting. But that's just the main thing. Like, you have to buy into something that you believe in. It's gonna dip, and then you got to buy the dip. That's what I'm doing. I'm saying you, but I don't mean you personally. I'm talking like basically to myself. I got to buy the dip, and then I got to watch it rise, and it's going to rise, and it's not where I want to be yet. So there, you know, and that might not be for you. You could buy the dip and then rise and make $100, and then wait for it to dip and then buy back in again and just keep making 100 here and there, 200 here and there, on and off. Me personally, I'm just riding it because I want to load up. I want to have hundreds and hundreds of shares, and by the time I sell, I want to be able to say, okay, I'm retired, and here's my retirement. You know what I mean? I'm gonna pull out, you know, one stock for 10,000, one stock for 20,000, one stock for 5,000, one stock for 50,000. You know, have all these stocks lined up, ready to go. That when I'm retired, it'll be ready to go. Now, is anything guaranteed in the stock market? No, but I will say the history of the market. Do your own due diligence, your own studying on it. But it goes up, it goes down, but it steadily rises, slowly but surely, slowly but surely. So that's just what I'm doing with it, man. Hopefully this helps you out if you're new to it. Buy into a company you believe in, and be willing. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna watch that. You're gonna throw $100 in, and usually what happens, you throw $100 in, 5 minutes later it dips, and then you sell, and then it rises. So you got to be willing to just be patient and consistent. You know what I mean? Persistent and consistent. That's it, man. Have a good day. Peace.